Hey, my name is Annalena and I just came out of the court where we talked about one of our actions we took recently, and I will now read my words that I gave to the court as my final statement for you. Russia's invasion of Ukraine shocked me. I was lucky enough to be able to see the country before the war. As a student, I did research in the Carpathian Mountains together with Ukrainian forestry experts and other students. And I remember going out in Lviv. Lviv is a student city with crazy bars and a rich student life, quite a lot like Uppsala, the place where I have been living for the past years. And after the invasion, Lviv became not only a target for bombs, it also became the place from which many of the trains towards Poland left. So it became the place where many families were separated, as the men had to stay behind to fight, and the rest of the families fled to safety. Seeing these images from Lviv really made me realize we now have a war in Europe, and that thought is devastating to me. I remember the trips I took to the Carpathian Mountains with my fellow students. We wanted to research how small mountain communities feel about protecting old-growth forests. So we spent many days talking to people, being invited to tea, and so on. And what we found was a community that already back then, when there wasn't a war, only a conflict in the east of Ukraine, they were already affected by this, because young people had left and never came back, and children grew up with their grandparents instead. So wars and conflicts destroy families. And to think that this is happening in Europe makes me feel sad and helpless. And to see the images of destroyed buildings, of the violence, and of people fleeing always makes me think of these people I've met and worked with, and I always wonder if they're still alive. I also think of my friend Solomia, who I've studied with, and while she was working on her master thesis, she was also trying to get her mom and younger brother to come to Sweden. And I remember her saying to me, I check Facebook every day to see how my friends and family are doing in Ukraine. And some days there is bad news. I think it's really hard for us to imagine what war does. We are lucky to live in peace here. But the war in Ukraine feels both very far away and very close. Far away because there's no bombs being dropped here, and very close because we are also a player in all of this. And to learn that Sweden continued and still continues to import Russian gas makes me both sad and also angry, because every krona we send to Russia fuels this war, and I wish we were more courageous as a society to actually stop this. And seeing the lack of action made me feel that it was really important for me to be brave and to step up and show that I believe that Sweden's position is wrong. We need to do more, and as an individual it's very easy to feel helpless, and it's very easy to feel like you can't do anything. But actually, and it is true, there's very little that I can do, but what I can do is at least challenge the Swedish government and ask them to act, because they are the ones in power. But still, it is my role in society, in a democracy, and not only my role, it's also my responsibility to hold them accountable and to express opinions. So protesting is a very important part of the democratic process. I can understand that my peaceful protest can be seen as illegal, but I do not think it is a crime. I strongly feel that it should not lead to punishment. It was an important contribution to the democratic process to show the government that people want peace. Sweden needs to end all import of Russian gas and thereby stop its support of Russia's war in Ukraine. People want peace, and we need to do everything we can to stop fueling the war. And for a single person like me, with no official power, doing what I can might mean to participate in a peaceful protest like the one that I went to court for today. Thank you.